Welcome, everyone, to another episode of I Can Do This All Day. I'm Dan, the Part-Time Avenger. That's Mark, the Resident Jedi.
Hello there. Today we're here to talk about something that is quite iffy in the what category, something that started last year and has matriculated our way for the hallowed of ween months. Something a little scary for the kiddies by both the lead characters and the subject matter, of course. We're talking about Marvel Zombies.
Marvel Zombies, which is a direct sequel to the What If Marvel Zombies episodes. What is your origin with Marvel Zombies, and did you have any expectations going into the show?
I heard it was a thing during the zombie craze, never read the books, didn't get super into it. And, as you mentioned, it spawned from this What If series that I was also a little hot and cold on because of the way that they made the watcher actually not just watch, but get in, right? So I was excited that it was 4 episodes and that they gave it to us all at once. It was like a short or a movie in that way, right? It took you on the full journey. And I like that they cut it to 4 episodes because they didn't have to have that garbage episode in the middle where nothing really fucking happens. But overall,
where they travel back in time.
Yeah, for no reason. Like one of them gets a dog, whatever. Like I enjoyed the way it was presented and given. I don't mind cartoons. I'm a fan. So overall, love new Marvel content, but we'll see how we felt about it. What's your origin story with this, Dan?
Didn't hear about Marvel Zombies until well after it came out. So fun fact, if there are any Walking Dead fans out there, or maybe who are just fans of the TV show of The Walking Dead, but Robert Kirkman, who started The Walking Dead, also did Marvel Zombies. Makes a whole lot of sense. Marvel property with that, but also at the same time, I'm wondering, okay, well, are we zombified out? It's been quite some time since The Walking Dead. Obviously, there's a bunch of spin-offs off of that stuff, but I didn't know how they were going to work into this just because Marvel is Disney. And I just didn't know if Marvel Zombies was going to be as gruesome as people expected it to be. I was hoping that we get a little bit of fun stuff, like almost the same vein as What If. And I don't know, we'll see if it gets there, but it was interesting. That was what I was thinking, is that I heard it was going to be mature audiences for Marvel Zombies, like, ooh, this is interesting. But I was kind of hesitant still. Very similar to Deadpool and Wolverine. I wasn't quite sure if they were going to fully commit. But that's where I was at. Did you have any same concerns at all? Like the Deadpool and Wolverine kind of
I was more
similarity?
concerned because of the What If. I didn't really, I did my thing where I did not read into it, did not try and dig in too early. And I was just like, okay, who's going to be the one hero that they rely on for the whole thing? Yeah. We know the answer to that because we watched it. Spoilers, we're going to talk all about this. People who get salty.
Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that we would have talked about the actual TV show or movie on a TV show or movie review podcast? Who would have thunk it?
Not the internet. Not the internet.
They thought about it well after the fact. So
they listened long enough for us to spoil, which normally takes at least 10 minutes.
Just to give a little bit of context on that, so there are some listeners that'll know exactly what we're talking about, but there are times where we release movie reviews well after the movie's original release, so a few weeks, maybe even sometimes months, sometimes years. But there are, on a few occasions, that we get really excited about something and we record right away, and maybe the opening night is Friday, we'll record the episode and release it for Monday. And, to be fair, when you're putting shorts and, little Instagram Reels content out there and someone hasn't seen the movie yet, okay, I get it. If it's opening weekend or after opening weekend, sure, I get it. But hey, man, that's like 2 episodes that we've ever done, so.
Stay off the internet until you see the movie. It's that important to you.
Yeah.
Or just let us tell you about the movie so you know what to expect and you're not surprised.
Why don't you just let us tell you about the movie?
You should absolutely wait until we release an episode on any movie you're thinking about going to the theater for.
Very true.
That's what you should do.
With this property, so you have your expectations. I mean, do you like zombies in general?
When you said zombied out, I was like, this guy. I mean, Zombieland was great. Walking Dead, I couldn't even get into it because it was just so much zombie-ishness, right? And the constant zombification of things and the non-standard zombie rules have created a mishmash of zombie-ness, for me at least, right? It's like, do they run? Do they walk ominously? Do they eat people? Do they just eat brains? If you cut off their head, are they dead? Do you have to hit their brain? What if you just blow up a leg? Lieutenant Cap, is that a thing? Like, all of this is all over the place for me. What about you? Are you a zombie maniac? Are you just like, I love zombies?
I enjoy zombie properties. I really like Train to Busan. That was an awesome movie. Walking Dead, watched all the seasons to it. I didn't watch any of the spin-offs, maybe caught a few episodes here and there, but I like zombies. It's a fun genre to be immersed in and kind of just like let go of the reins and just be like, let the world take me. You know, like, okay, let's see what's happening. Crazy shit's gonna happen. Will they run? Will they walk? But there are some just it's kind of funny with zombies is because it's very reminiscent of just like the old school scary movie type of stuff. Like if you ever saw Night of the Living Dead, the very first original movie is kind of strange. It's just kind of out there, but still good. And I'm all for it. I actually went to go see that in theaters, a re-release on Halloween night one time, and I'm all for it. But when it comes to animated properties, I'm not a huge fan of. When it comes to animated properties with zombies, well, you can have like a lot of freedom with that. So I'm hoping that they're going to pull into the gore a little bit and they're going to have a few creative liberties, which we get a little bit of it. So I'm not going to say it was a ton of it, but enough to keep me satisfied. I was actually expecting a little more. But the gore itself, I mean, what did you think? There was plenty of deaths. There were some pretty surprising deaths overall, but did you expect as many casualties?
I mean, they said so, and this is, I didn't read into it. The explanation on the first episode was one survivor. So I'm like, everybody's gonna die at some point, right? I just didn't expect Meg to be the one survivor. I mean Ms. Marvel.
Meg?
This is a Meg episode, man. It's a fucking
You don't like her?
I think that this suffers from, I mean, suffers is a very strong word, but this definitely suffers from a little bit of the larger problem that Marvel's dealing with is the A plus characters are kind of played out. Like they've done it. They've spun them out. And they can't just go back to the Fab Four every single time. And that they're trying to make fetch happen here with Ms. Marvel and Kate Bishop and Shang-Chi, and I'm just not my bag, baby.
Well, I mean, they're not trying to do it with Kate Bishop because she was executed in spectacular fashion,
Yeah.
which surprised the hell out of me. I thought for
Oh,
sure it was going to be like Spice Girls, Marvel Zombies. And I was going to be okay with that. But when I saw that they just axed Kate Bishop like right there, I was like, whoa, all right. This is not what I was expecting. Marvel surprised me on this one. So they kept on surprising me. There was slowly by slowly, one by one, each one of them fell. And I kept on thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, there's another one down right there. And it was just like, it didn't stop. So that kind of had me just like very similar to like a scary movie or even like a murder mystery. Like, oh my God, that person's not the killer. Like, well, that person's dead. Where do we go from here? So I was always constantly asking after each death in the episodes I was watching that, like, okay, well, what is going to happen? Where's this all going to? What's the resolution? And I did not see the resolution coming at all. But before we get to that stuff, there's so many different characters in here. I'm curious what your version of the plot is going to be with all these characters, with all these zombies, with all these Marvel zombies.
a bunch of characters that we'd want to see fighting zombies are all already zombies, and the B team has to save the multiverse.
Was it the multiverse?
I don't even know.
I don't think it was. I think it was just their verse.
Just their work, just their verse,
Just their verse,
just
I
their
think.
verse. Well, they have to save the verse. The B team has to beat the Scarlet Witch again.
That was surprising to me that Elizabeth Olsen came back as the Scarlet Witch. And I saw an interview with her where she said that she recorded this years ago. So she doesn't even remember or even know what exactly happened in Marvel Zombies. So it's kind of funny that happened. But it also makes a whole lot of sense because hey, get your voiceovers done. You've got a contract. We'll figure it out as the time goes on. But uh, there's a lot of Scarlet Witch stands out there, and they love Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch. It was cool to see her. Once again, I thought it was a nice little twist where she was able to heal herself, in air quotes. But this is something that they need. You know, they need some type of a semblance of the original movies and the original characters from those, early phases of the MCU. And I think you do it the right way by having her in, and yeah, you've got the new people in, but it's funny that you say like you're trying to build up the new squad, but they all end up dying anyways. So I don't know if they're necessarily building them up. A little extra exposure, sure, but built up, they were not. Executed, they were.
I will say that it was nice that so many OG voices were in it, and they didn't just like I looked after the fact because I mean they can just whatever voices, right? And I mean Simu Lee, Aquafina, David Harbour, you mentioned Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Rudd, Randall Park, like Florence Pugh, Haley Steinfeld, all Tessa Thompson, all of them came back and
Yeah,
did their thing. I was honestly surprised at that. And stoked that Aquafina got more screen time. That was the highlight for me. Is Aquafina got some
really.
rings, yo.
That
And
was cool.
yeah. How did you
I,
feel about the Mad Max uh the Mad Max of all of those care all of the it was Randall Park, it was Aquafina, it was Simu Lee. Who was the others in that Mad Max?
I don't know. I don't really care about Mad Max though, so I understand the visual. It's a cool visual. It's a really good callback, but that's only for the people that really enjoyed Mad Max. I didn't. So that's
I mean,
now
my favorite Mad
specifically, I'm
Max.
I'm talking about specifically Mad Max Fury Road. I have not watched enough of the old Mad Max movies to really get a good opinion on it. I would hope that they're better than Fury Road because I think Fury Road was just so overrated. Just a lot of
I
driving.
haven't watched any of them, but my favorite Mad Max is the Rick and Morty Mad Max episode with Beefy Arm Morty.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's funny. It's funny. But going down like all the cast lists, one that I was really pleasantly surprised to hear was Wyatt Russell as John Walker. And I was hoping there's going to be a little bit more of him in it, but him being Baron Zemo's henchman, I was thinking like, oh yeah, cool. Walker's going to come in here and he's going to beat some shit up. And like, nope, he goes out like a bitch. Like very,
Yeah. Like
very
the bitch,
decisive.
yeah, total bitch out.
Man, but you got like a lot of people. You got the likable characters in there. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man, and I like
You
how
got the
they,
real voice of Friday too.
yeah, Carrie Congdon.
She's kind of a big
I,
deal now after F1.
I mean, she was always pretty up there. No, I mean, nice, nice actress, lots of roles. I don't know. I thought she was up there, but I wasn't like super jazzed about the roster. Was it cool to see? What's his name? Oh my God, David
Scott Lang, the
Harbour,
floating head.
Red Guardian. I was so, like, I like seeing him, and I liked how they kind of twisted it up to where it wasn't Yelena just crying that she was alone. It was Red Guardian. I would have liked to see him survive.
He got lost boys.
Yeah, yeah, it was interesting, but. The speaking of the way that people were getting turned, so obviously everyone got turned into vampires for the most part, but did you buy the whole,
Everybody got turned into zombies.
yeah, the 10 rings saving Shang-Chi's arm?
That was bullshit. Cut his fucking arm off. Come on. It'll be the 6 rings and the stubby.
I was hoping it was going to be something like that. Like one ring would stay on and then you'd have to cut it off. And then the other rings are just kind of there as like his hand, his extension, if you will.
He could have they could have idle hands that. The severed arm
Yeah.
could have attacked Aquafina.
Yeah.
They could have done so many cool things.
Cousin it, yeah, absolutely. I would have been down with that. The deaths overall. Did you have any like favorite deaths or favorite zombie type of takeovers?
No, I thought that the it was funny to me that they Lieutenant Dan Captain America and then sent him through the vents. That
Yeah.
to fight Red Guardian, like that was funny to me.
He
Thought
was
Red
cut
Guardian
in
was
half
getting
by Bucky in the previous
Oh, he
series.
was?
Yeah,
Either
so
way.
that's why That's
Either
why I
way, they
was.
Lieutenant Danned him. They let him with my magic legs. I really like I kept trying to figure out why why they had Kamala be the lead. Because her powers are like least likely to kill zombies. Like her you'd think like her sparkly little shoot 'em up things, like she couldn't put them through a zombie's forehead. Like, come on. She makes the most pop culture references, second to Peter, and couldn't pull off the the armor piercingness. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with that. She's a
Mm.
kid, and the fact that like so are you saying that you just don't like her as a character?
I mean, she's so underwhelmingly powered that any of these majors should have just destroyed her. He's
What
strong.
is your understanding of her powers?
She can like protect. She can create things like objects using it's not mind stone. It's infinity gem like power, right?
So yeah, sort of. Which you just said right there. So like infinity gem like powers, and you're saying she's underpowered.
She doesn't bring the heat with that power though. Like she's not Carol Danvers. She's not even
Well,
Monica Rambeau.
so Carol Danvers, when she, who was it that she like disintegrated? Was it Kate Bishop that
It was
she
Kate fucking
disintegrated?
dude.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
the
awesome.
baddest ass zombie that was there.
Yeah, that was cool. I will say though, with her powers, I mean, you didn't like the fact that she was taking like her powers and making like these big light projections and just like smashing people in between them. Like that was awesome.
But she didn't like, I don't know. I needed her to go dark with it and just
She
fucking
didn't
lean
kill
into it.
enough people and smash them.
She was
Is
not
that it?
formidable enough, in my opinion.
Okay.
She was struggling when if she was really like the smashing machine, she should have been like, I don't know. I would have liked her to
She
have been more
smashed a
decisive.
bunch of zombies. I
I don't
think
know.
you just don't like the character. And
Probably.
I think part of it is like you didn't watch her series, right?
I watched most of it.
Did you? I
Yeah.
thought you didn't watch it. Okay. You didn't like her in the Marvels, which at that point you hadn't seen Miss Marvel yet. So I think there's like and I don't blame you because I still haven't watched Ironheart. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to. I don't care. I don't care
Yeah.
about that character. The way that she was introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I did not care. So that was part of the.
That's how I feel about Ms. Marvel.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I totally get that. So I understand it. But for you to say that her powers were not formidable enough, that's crazy because she smashed some zombies up, like made mincemeat out of them easily.
She needed help the whole time though.
Yeah, but that's like the human factor, right? So you can't be like this stone cold killer as a teenage girl. I mean, if you are, then you're part of the Black Widow program, and they already had a Black Widow, and she ended up sacrificing herself for the good of the world, anyways. But yeah, it's I get you though. I get you though. If you don't care enough for the character, you could see the powers being underwhelming. And maybe that's just what it is. Maybe you're underwhelmed by the character and then you just didn't really pay as much attention to the powers being demonstrated on the Marvel Zombies show. But I kind of think the same thing for a lot of the characters in this. Like the powers themselves are just I don't know how they're really getting out of it. So like Shang-Chi should have been eliminated way faster. Like hand-to-hand combat with zombies doesn't go well. And so that's why I was thinking like, oh my gosh, this is like you couldn't give him the rings and like right off the bat. It's like, no, you're gonna have him fight barehanded against waves of zombies. And sure, can he hold his own? Of course. Am I a big Shang-Chi fan? Yes, absolutely. Would I love to see him take down dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds of zombies? Sure, bring in a whole gaggle of people, and I would love to see him just mow them down. But zombies, that's a little far fetched to me. So that's where I was thinking, like, ooh, I like him as a character. I liked that he and Katie stuck around for majority of the show, but at the same time, not believable. To me, underwhelming for his powers and the fact that he had zombie arm. So I don't know. Any other cameos or characters that you saw in here that you were kind of surprised about that you liked seeing?
I didn't realize that the floating head with the Doctor Strange cape was Scott Lang until way later. Like not way later, but like not with immediacy. I thought it was just
Okay.
they got a different voice actor to do Benedict Cumberbatch,
Mm.
but they didn't. And I mean, it was great, but it I don't know. It seemed like they just put him in there, and all he did was kind of fly around.
Yeah, he didn't have that's some underwhelming powers right there. Like he had no powers. All it was just his head. It was the cape
I
that
mean,
kind of
he
made
was
him like a
killing him
flying
with
bullet.
quips, bro. Killing him with quips.
Yeah, I don't really it's cool to have, Paul Rudd there, but at the same time didn't see a whole lot of purpose for it. You could kind of use him as the like, oh, Hope. Yeah, she really did turn into a zombie. But no, did not really care about his character at all. Randall Park, Jimmy Woo. I love him as a character, and once again, underwhelmed in terms of his physical attributes and everything. But hey, it was cool to see him get him all dressed up in S&M gear, going Mad Max style on it. That was kind of funny. But so many people in this, but I don't know if there's like a standout to me. I'll say
Did
that
can I
Haley
ask a
Steinfeld
question?
as Kate Bishop was going to be my standout, but she got axed quick. So other than that, I wasn't really rooting for anyone besides Spider-Man.
I thought early that that's who they were going to make the lead. Is they were gonna let
Yeah,
Kate Bishop run with it. You talked about Jimmy. I want to talk about Aquafina. Did her character fight in the first movie? Like, does
no,
she have? So she just randomly figured out six of the rings or five rings or whatever.
I guess.
Like randomly. It's those kind of things that made this a little questionable.
I didn't like that Shang-Chi didn't already have the rings. Like I thought it was cool that they brought Wenwu back and it's a nice little twist. He gets bit on the arm and then Wenwu's like, you soft piece of shit. Like, all right, I guess I'll save with these rings. I'm gonna
Mhm.
sacrifice myself. But I would have thought the stone cold Mandarin would just take the rings and just like nice little force field around him with the rings and then threw a ring on him just to protect him from turning into a zombie. And still tended court and fucking kick the shit out of everyone. That's what I would have loved to see. But no, no, too
I
weak.
did like the family reunion from Black Widow and the fact that she trained pigs before. Zombies are easier. That was funny.
That was funny.
That was entertaining.
I I don't know. I don't really. That was one part of the series that I was just like, oh, cool. Red Guardian, Yelena. All right. And you get like some good quips from them. You have the same familiarity with those characters as you do that you had in Thunderbolts, except a little bit role reversal to where Yelena is the one that ends up dying, so she's obviously not the one that's going to be whining and pining. But it's cool to see David Harbour and Alexei Shostakov as Alexei Shostakov, the Red Guardian, kind of mourning his loss of Melina and then Yelena, and then he eventually goes down. So I guess it's cool that they have a bunch of characters in for fodder, essentially, but at the same time I think, with this, if it's only going to end one way, you have to do it that way. I don't necessarily like it, but I guess you have to.
Yeah. Speaking of characters, this was strictly like not like no X-Men. I don't even remember seeing any Eternals in this, and no
Nope.
Fantastic Four. So it was just like phase 1 through 3 Marvel, or I don't
Four.
even remember the phases. Yeah.
1 through 4. But most of the people from 1 through 3 died. So phase 4 was usually like, or most of the people, I would say.
Yeah. If they would have added some X-Men and Eternals, this could have gotten really sloppy and really kind of crazy. So I understand the why, but Scarlet Witch, I don't know. She was already dead, but I guess she wasn't.
She's
So
powerful, so she can
mhm.
use those powers to cure her. Which she didn't, to be clear, didn't really cure herself, right?
No, she just projected
Mask.
herself as living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. I thought that was a nice little twist. And I think that at the end, when um, Kamala is just kind of walking around and then she sees like really what happened, I was like, all right, is this going to be it? Is this going to be the end of it? And like, yep, it sure was. Like, that was really cool. I love the fact that they do the downer Empire Strikes Back ending where they think everything's cool. Not so much. You're fucked. And what you're seeing isn't real, and it's all just a figment of the Scarlet Witch's head.
I mean, they basically did WandaVision zombies.
And do you like that?
It's like a repeat. It's like, I don't know. It's a really smart way to end it, but it's like we did WandaVision. Why are we WandaVisioning again?
WandaVision didn't have zombies, number one. Number
Yes.
two, there was not a whole lot of death in WandaVision. Just one. Or well, three people, if you count like the two kids by being eliminated. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't say that it was a WandaVision retread, if you will. I think it was a better arc compared to Multiverse of Madness. Instead of her just trying to look for her kids, I thought it was kind of cool with her just basically like, all right, well, I'm dead. So I'm going to raise an army of dead people to recreate what I want to happen. And so I thought that was like, that was sweet because what they were trying to do in Multiverse of Madness just didn't work. And then she ends up being the big bad because she was looking for kids. And then this one at least is a purpose. Like she's a big bad because she's raising an army of the dead just to meld it into her own world. So I thought that was way more believable. I thought that was way more doing justice to the character as opposed to what happened in Multiverse of Madness. Your thoughts?
I'm not emotionally attached to Scarlet Witch, so I really like, as long as the story makes sense, don't care. That sounds terrible, but I don't. I enjoy Elizabeth Olsen. I think that she's great as an actress, but it never was a great character to me. And it's gotten so like bled through, like it was an X-Men character, but now it's a like, I don't know. I remember Scarlet Witch as an X-Man, right? That's just me.
Yeah, I think it's just you. I don't think she's ever part of the X-Men. But yeah, sure.
I thought she was.
She was an Avenger, is an Avenger. I don't know if I mean sure she probably fucked around with the X-Men for a little bit, popped in on issue 74 and there's some talks about that stuff. But yeah,
No, she in X-Men 97, she was like Magneto's daughter.
yeah,
Wanda Maximoff was a daughter of Magneto.
that doesn't change the fact that she wasn't an X-Man.
You know what I mean. She was in X-Men.
Well, I mean, are you going to call Captain America an X-Man because he was in X-Men comics?
He wasn't like the child of Professor Xavier.
No. No. But Wolverine was the person who killed Spider-Man's parents. Would you call him a Spider-Man character?
Was he?
Yeah, I think they retconned it to where he's the one who killed him.
Did not know that.
Yeah. But either way, yeah. It's the characters, there's a lot of them. Anything Martha you in the show?
The fact that they could have picked any Marvel character to lead this, and they picked Ms. Marvel. So this was a Meg episode for me. For all those Family Guy people out there, you know what a Meg episode is. It's an episode where you're like, well, there'll be jokes, but it's still a Meg episode.
All right. Okay.
Did anything Martha you, or you sound like you really enjoyed this?
The one thing that really Marthaed me, and it's because I thought he did such a good show in the other animated stuff and What If, was Hemsworth not coming back as Thor. That Marthaed me. Because the guy who did it, not a bad job. You just love hearing Hemsworth's voice as Thor. And if they give him any type of going away send off in live action, I would hope it's something like this, where he takes out like a whole bunch of people and he like willingly sacrifices himself and he does like the noble thing for once. And yeah, that's what I would have liked. But that's the only thing that really Marthaed me. I thought everything else was pretty solid of like the surprise deaths. The humor was fine. The music being used throughout the episodes was fine. I wouldn't say great, but it was fine. And some of the animation was really, really cool. Like some scenes were like, holy shit, that is so realistic. And then comes in like, oh yeah, now you can kind of tell it's a cartoon. So I appreciate those types of shots. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm really curious if he's just done. Like he's in the Doomsday movies, but I really feel like Marvel is just trying to do a complete reset after Doomsday.
Yeah, they've talked about that. Feige has said that. I believe, like, according to the rumors, they are going to do like an epic send off for Thor. So whatever that means, whether send off meaning he's dead or send off, meaning he just surfs around the galaxy and looks for new stuff. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't know, man. We're gonna be in quite some surprises with some other stuff that'll happen in Doomsday and Secret Wars. I'm pretty sure. And there's a lot of hype saying that there's gonna be some deaths. So we shall see what happens. But before
Hey.
we get to those movies, Mark, I got a question for you. When it comes to Disney Plus's Marvel Zombies, can you do this all day?
So I really like cartoons, and the animation style in this was great. You know, it's Marvel's own unique animation style. Nothing about that marthaed me. And it's great to see all these characters interacting in a different way. It's a 2-hour commitment to watch, which isn't bad, but it's missing some things for me that make Marvel movies very rewatchable. I think we all know that it missed the mark for me on a lead protagonist character. It's nothing against the actress. It's just not a character that I feel is or that works for me as a lead. But that in and of itself is not my biggest problem with it. My biggest problem is they did nothing with the music. Like just a huge gap. Like my favorite banger Marvel movies have soundtracks that I want to turn on and songs that just hit it for me. And I feel like they did a lot of things in this movie kind of half-assed. So while it did start and end a story, it did hit a lot of good points. It also retreaded a few things for me and was a little lazy. And for those reasons, I cannot do this all day. I'll watch it again if my kid wants to watch it, but I'm not reaching for Marvel Zombies. I got to episode 4 like, let's end this. But that's just me. I'm kind of a snob sometimes, and I need my co-host to possibly balance my no. So Dan, when it comes to Marvel Zombies, can you do this all day?
So, like Mr. Miyagi said, balance is important. And with this movie, I thought it was, or I'm sorry, this show, I thought it had fun. I thought they brought in a lot of great actors to reprise their roles and everything. So I was happy to see that. The shockingness of the deaths was always a great surprise, and I loved it. Just because, it's very rarely do you see that type of stuff happen in cartoons or in general. So it's kind of nice to see like some bad shit happen to the heroes. And it's okay because it's animated. So you can see some crazy stuff like arms getting ripped up, heads getting chopped off, and stuff like that. And nothing was super gratuitous to where it's like, ugh, gosh, I can't watch this anymore. Like, that's the nice thing about animation. You could watch it and you're watching it and you're appreciating the animation of like, oh my gosh, see how that person got torn in half? That animation was really good. Stuff like that. I don't know if there's people really saying that, but at the same time, like, sure, I'll appreciate that type of art because yeah, it can be a little bit off-putting to see that happen in real life. So, uh, I thought the action was good. Story, not that I didn't like the story. I just thought it was kind of like an easy throwaway plot. Then was like, okay, well, Queen of the Dead. Here we go. It was cool to see Elizabeth Olsen, but yeah, so I'm kind of teetering and tottering. The big thing that's going to dictate my answer is, do I want to watch this again? And even though there's a lot of stuff I like, the answer is no. I don't want to watch it. I think I'm just done. I want to move on to the next Marvel property. So was this bad? No. Is it my least favorite Marvel property? No, not even close. Secret Invasion is still the one that is the bottom of the rung for that. But even the familiar faces, familiar voices, uh, that was great, but it just wasn't enough to get me to come back and watch this. So no, I cannot do this all day. That is another Marvel property that I've said, no, I can't do this all day. What the hell has the world come to?
I know I feel terrible. Like I love me some Marvel. I just don't love me this Marvel.
Yeah. And kudos to all the animators and everyone who brought this to life because was it enjoyable? Yeah. It's just I don't want to enjoy it again anytime soon. So
Everything can't be a 10.
sorry, Marvel. And sorry, fans, for if there's anyone that we're disappointing by saying we can't do this all day. It seems like a lot of the episodes on movies and shows and lists that we've done, it's been a little disheartening. I would say. I wasn't keen on Fantastic Four. That was the most recent one. So yeah, it's a little tough. Like I want to see some Marvel stuff and I want to be like, this is the best. This is it. It's back. Here we go. Can't wait for a sequel. And I just haven't felt that yet.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I'm pretty sure this is one and done for Marvel on zombies. So,
Yeah, they're done. It was just
yeah,
completing the story from the What If.
there we go. Let's move
But
on to the next one.
But speaking of moving on to the next one, before we do, we got to wrap this episode up. So, for all those fans and listeners, this is Dan the Part-Time Avenger. That's Mark the Resident Jedi.
Don't forget, y'all like, subscribe, let us know what you thought about Marvel Zombies. Let us know how much you love Kamala Khan and how much I'm wrong, because everybody apparently thinks that's the case. So I'm just leaning into it. Put your hate in there. Let us know how bad we spoiled at I Can Do This All Day podcast on all the socials. Like, subscribe, download, 5-star reviews all the way across, because you know you enjoyed yourself if you've listened this long. That or you're being subjected to torture.
We will see you next time, everyone.